Hi, I'm Nick Dark, creator of Innate. Meditation is innate. It is a natural biological process designed to help you remember who you are. Now, I use that phrase, remember who you are, for a number of reasons. And one of which is because it tunes you into the idea of deep self-trust. To know who you are, be anchored in that, and to trust that. There is a direct relationship between our confidence, our happiness, our sense of freedom, and our self-trust. And so if you want to be the optimized you, at peak performance, in alignment, your highest self, whatever you like, your most free, happy, healthy, potent you, out there fulfilling your mission and purpose in the world, self-trust is a non-negotiable foundation layer in order for that to happen, right? And the clue is really in the name, self-trust, of course. It can only come from you. So I say that because you can take in information from other sources and other people. For example, we can check and ask from people that we know, friends, family, and we can passively consume content and information from experts. And whilst that can be really useful, it is no substitute for and is very different to your ability to trust yourself in your navigation of your lived experience, right? Because otherwise, when we don't trust that and we're not working with that, we're giving our power away big time. And your lived experience and navigating your lived experience, well, that's all you have. You're here right now, and your life, everything in it, is your subjective awareness and experience. That's it. That's the whole thing right here, right now. It's happening. And so you need to be able to navigate that fully, deeply, and well. All right then. So what is my subjective experience to be navigated? What makes that up, and how do I get into a state of self-trust around it? Well, it is very simply the natural flow that your nervous system wants to work through. And so this is something that I return to time and time again. It is a 3-step process of sensing, processing, and expressing. That's how the nervous system works. That's how we take in life, metabolize it, and respond to it. That is the method through which we experience life. Sounds super simple, right? But let's go a little deeper to this sense, process, and express. Because to start off with, do you trust your ability to sense, to perceive your reality fully? Because how we perceive, what we perceive, determines our reality. And so, do you trust what you're perceiving? Or could you go a little deeper? And are you really welcoming everything that's there? Because it is very easy to be selective about what we allow into our awareness. So there are times, of course, when you'll be like, oh, I don't really want to look at that, or that feels uncomfortable, or we'll just scoot past that pretty quick. And that is a point at which you're not having expanded awareness. You're not fully perceiving everything in that situation. And so we want to get to a place where we have broadest awareness that we can, be able to hold as much as possible in our awareness without being overwhelmed, and being very clear about what's relevant and what's needed. But that's part of the rest of the process. So first off, do we trust our ability to sense and to perceive fully and deeply what is there? Do we trust our perception of what is real? And then once we've sensed, how do we process? Because our processing is really our ability to make decisions, to calculate, to understand everything, all the data that we've sensed, and information either from within ourselves or the external environment. And you might think, oh yeah, I'm good, taking information, processing it, taking action, it's all happening, it's all good. And that's great. But what I will say is that everything you process happens through the lens of your self-limiting beliefs, your trauma, your habitual responses, reactive responses that play out in loops 1,000 times throughout our lifetime, just across various different situations. We can very easily be in habitual stress responses as we process, and that happens very, very quickly and often without your conscious awareness, because it is a reactive response. And so how much do we really trust that our processing is not through the lens of those blockers, essentially, but is actually free, and we can process in the fullest way that we can without any inhibitors, or that we're working through those inhibitors. So do we trust that we can process properly, that we're calculating, that we're making good decisions? And as we sense and as we process, we're also understanding what our truth is, because we're feeling into, well, what do I think about that? And how does that feel for me? What is my truth around this? And so there is that sensing of inner sensing and external sensing, and putting the two together and processing. Okay, so sense, process, and then off the back of those two, we can express, we can take action in the world. And are we taking action in alignment with our truth, with our self? Are we honoring ourselves fully out in the world? So first of all, do we know our truth? Are we connected enough and tuned in to know our truth fully? And then are we taking action in alignment with it? Because very often, even when you do know your truth, you're not necessarily taking action in alignment with it. How often has been the case where we've known or we've felt a certain way, but we've gone and done something else, or we've behaved in a way which is just not representative of us? It happens, and that's the practice for us all, right? So sense, process, and express, take action confidently to work with the nervous system to activate and tune it in a way that we can just go out there and represent ourselves fully and in a way that honors us. So what is fantastic about that 3-step process is, as I said, it's the natural flow that the nervous system wants to work through. And this is exactly what wants to be rehearsed in meditation. This is the loop that is going on in meditation. Your body is constantly calibrating this and building the muscle of being able to do this well, so that you can be out there sensing, processing, expressing lucidly, fluidly, confidently, capably, potently, skillfully, and in a way that means that you are anchored in self-trust, so that no matter what life throws at you, you trust yourself to navigate it. In the heat of the moment, you trust yourself. That's magic, and it's innate. Meditation is innate. It is a natural biological process designed to help you remember who you are and trust it.